Is Taehyung really jealous? Why did he suddenly reveal Jungkook's personal secret to the public? And was Jungkook's shocking confession the beginning of their fractured relationship? The army was shocked, the media was in uproar, and the question now hung sharply. What exactly was going on behind their smiles? Who would have thought? Behind the flickering lights of the stage, the glare of the camera that obscures real emotions, and a smile that seems to never fade, there is a story that is much more complicated, sharper, and more thrilling than what ARMY has known so far. For many years, the friendship between Taehyung and Jungkook was considered a symbol of loyalty, closeness, and an unshakable bond. However, in an instant, one confession from Jungkook turned everything upside down. It's not just about Taehyung, but about what they have never shown in front of the camera. And now, the public can only wonder, why did Taehyung do that? Is jealousy at the root of all this? And if so, why did Jungkook choose to reveal it publicly? It all started when HYB officially announced a new collaboration program that would involve Jungkook and Jimin. In an instant, the names of the two ruled the global trending topic, not only because of their chemistry and vocal strength, but also because of the absence of one name that has always been one with both of them. Kim Taehyung, the public wondered. Fans began to speculate. Is there an internal conflict? Is this a sign of the division that has been hidden? Taehyung, who is usually active and supportive in every project of his fellow members, this time chose silence. But his silence is actually a question. Too quiet, too cold, too awkward. And like a long-held ember, it all explodes in one moment that shocks all parties, when Taehyung in an exclusive interview reveals something shocking. He talked about Jungkook's personal habits, a thing that should never be public consumption. This is something that only their inner circle knows about, Taehyung's words echoed. The sentence was recorded and viral in a matter of minutes. Not a few consider it a form of subtle betrayal. The army was divided. Some thought Taehyung was just joking, some thought he was under pressure, and some believed Taehyung was jealous. But what made things even more complicated was when Jungkook, a few days later, appeared on a live broadcast and unexpectedly discussed it. With a trembling voice and a facial expression that was hard to hide, he said one sentence that left everyone transfixed. "I'm surprised he said that. I think he knows. I'm not comfortable with that." And in an instant, the storm was unstoppable. The media panned it, fans started making theories, and questions hung around. What really happened between Taehyung and Jungkook? Is this really because of Taehyung's jealousy towards Jungkook and Jimin's program? Did HYB deliberately arrange this formation for commercial reasons? Or is it, there is something deeper, more emotional that they have been hiding all this time? Even more surprising is the clarification that came too late. Taehyung finally appeared on a Japanese radio show and answered questions from the host about his viral remarks. With bated breath and a serious look, he said, "That's not true. I just picked the wrong word. I thought it was funny, but it's not." However, the clarification came at a time when the storm was already intensifying. The army was heartbroken. Some of them voiced disappointment. Others chose to defend Taehyung fiercely, saying that it was just part of the pressure he felt as an idol that was constantly overshadowed by expectations, and one big question has yet to be answered. If it's just a mispronunciation, why does Jungkook look so hurt? The facts behind the scenes are starting to emerge. Some of the staff involved in the production of Jungkook and Jimin's program said that Taehyung's name was initially considered. However, there were sudden changes that saw him removed from the lineup. There is no official reason. There is no detailed explanation. Only program needs became a diplomatic answer. But can it really be that simple? In the world of K-pop that is all planned and strategic, Taehyung's absence from a big project like this is too striking to be considered a coincidence. Even more so when, behind all this drama, old video footage circulated, Taehyung staring at Jungkook silently while talking to Jimin. A look that is now interpreted with a new meaning. There's a feeling, there's a hurt, there's something unfinished. Some observers of Korean pop culture refer to this as a form of emotional leakage, when internal pressure ends up leaking into the public sphere unintentionally. And if that is the case, then the question now becomes sharper. What exactly has accumulated between them all this time? There are those who call Taehyung and Jungkook like day and night. Jungkook is the golden boy, perfectionist, hardworking, and always polished with the best highlights, while Taehyung is more mysterious, unpredictable, and often in the gray area between genius and misunderstanding. So it's no wonder that the public is now questioning, is Taehyung tired of constantly being in Jungkook's shadow? And more importantly, was Jungkook aware of it? In some rare moments, the two are indeed seen less often together than they used to be. If in the past they almost always appeared together on Variety, on VLive, or even just in other members' stories, now that intensity is starting to dim. Some of the ARMY even claim that the two are not as close as they used to be. Really? But just as a fractured love doesn't always mean it's gone, their relationship can't just be judged by outward appearances. Because the one thing that can still be felt, even through the glass screen, is a vibe that can't be faked. When Jungkook looks at the camera and says one name, Taehyung, I hope you know I didn't mean to make you feel left out. The sentence came without a script, without training. And that's probably the most honest sentence Jungkook has ever uttered this year. And as we all try to understand the meaning of everything that happened, the question finally comes back to us. If Taehyung did it because of a feeling that had been suppressed, could we blame him? And if Jungkook chooses to forgive, even though his heart was once touched by a wound, isn't that proof that their friendship is much stronger than one public mistake? This story may not be finished yet, but one thing is certain. The ARMY, again, is invited to be not only a spectator, but being a witness that even in a world filled with light and praise, human feelings such as jealousy, sadness, and hurt are real. So, what exactly happened? Is this the beginning of the end? Or is it a new chapter in a more honest friendship? But the questions that revolve in the minds of the ARMY never get a definite answer. Taehyung's clarification was considered too fast, too flat, and seemed only to reduce the noise, not reveal the truth. Because in the words he uttered, there was an impression like he was hiding a deeper wound. A person will not be that easy to expose the privacy of others unless there is a long-buried emotional impulse. And that's what makes this moment so jarring. Did IS jealousy really the trigger? Many judge so. All this time, although the relationship of the three, Taehyung, Jungkook, and Jimin, always looks harmonious, but the camera can never capture the contents of the human heart. Jungkook and Jimin are known to be very close in public. They visit each other, send gifts, and even stay overnight at each other's homes. While Taehyung, despite participating in group moments, looks further away when the camera is turned off. A snippet of a video from last year's fan cam went viral. Jimin and Jungkook laughing together. Then the camera panned to Taehyung standing just a few steps away from them, silent, smiling lightly, then walking away. Some fans thought it was just an ordinary moment. But now, all began to reinterpret it. What is the meaning of that smile? Is it sincere, or does it harbor feelings that it can never express? And when Jungkook finally expressed his feelings in a live broadcast, it was clear that the wound was not trivial. I believe in him. I believe he didn't mean any harm. But it's a very personal thing. I think he knows that. Jungkook's voice trembled slightly, and for the first time, he didn't hide his disappointment. ARMY knows Jungkook is not the type to easily discuss problems between members. But at this moment, it was as if there was a need in him to tell the truth, albeit bitterly, and that honesty somehow opens up another wound. A former HYBE staffer, who chose anonymity, suddenly posted a statement that further fueled speculation. Taehyung really wants to join the program, but he was not given a role. In fact, the initial idea was a collaborative project between the three. I saw him disappointed, and since then, he's been more secretive than usual. The upload immediately spread to various platforms. Twitter, TikTok, even the Weverse community began to retalk all their interactions. Small moments that used to be considered jokes now feel like emotional clues that are never conveyed. Fans began putting together pieces of a puzzle they had never realized before, a silent narrative about someone who feels left behind between two big names, Jungkook and Jimin. But why did Taehyung reveal Jungkook's secret? What's his motive? A psychologist who is often asked to analyze Korean idol expressions said, sometimes, someone who feels that they have lost control of the situation will look for small forms of domination to return to feeling empowered. uncover something that only they know is one way. And in this context, it could be that Taehyung feels his position is being usurped not just by Jimin but by circumstances, by HYB, even B. While the camera presents an emotional scene that melts the hearts of millions of people around the world, there is one fact that remains hanging in the air. A wound that has already been opened cannot be completely closed by just one hug. Not when the whole world is watching and judging. Many soldiers felt relieved after seeing that rare moment, but not a few also wondered, was the hug sincere? Or is it just a reparation of the image compiled by HYB for everything to calm down again? Because it cannot be denied, when this drama is getting wild in cyberspace, HYB was seen starting to take action. They released a brief and very cautious statement saying that there are no serious issues between the members and they will continue to support each other as always. But precisely because it was too careful, the statement was even considered suspicious. One former music reporter, who is now active in international K-pop forums, even dared to mention that HYB most likely gave communication directions to the members to maintain the group's image and the stability of the fanbase. And that's only fair, considering BTS isn't just another idol group, they're a multi-billion-dollar global brand. However, what about their emotions? Is this all a matter of strategy? In one of the popular podcasts discussing the dynamics of the K-pop industry, a source who claimed to have been involved in HYB's communications division said, Jungkook and Taehyung are like two poles of attraction. They are very close, but can also be very emotional with each other. That's what makes their relationship intense, and sometimes fragile. Maybe that's what happened in this drama, because after that hug moment, some things still don't go back to the way they were. Social media activity is both more organized, no more impulsive uploads, no more quietly recorded casual interactions. It was as if an invisible wall was being rebuilt, not to separate, but perhaps to protect. However, the army never forgets. They began to create reconciliation projects in different countries. Some make murals about Taekook's friendship, others make compilation videos of their best moments, hoping that those memories can serve as a reminder to both, that they once were and still are meant for each other. Surprisingly, a few weeks after that moment, in a behind-the-scenes broadcast that HYB released to promote Jungkook and Jimin's project, there was one footage that immediately made ARMY hold its breath. In the lunch break scene, Jungkook is seen sitting alone in a corner of the room, playing with a cell phone. Shortly after, Jimin approached and said in a quiet voice but was caught by the microphone, Tae said sorry again. He said he couldn't sleep for 2 nights because of it. Jungkook stared at his phone screen for a while, then smiled slightly and answered, I understand why, but it still feels different now. The sentence is slicing. Because although he did not say that their relationship is broken, but it is clear something has changed. There is a new distance emerging, either for good or only temporarily. Taehyung himself then uploaded a short video on his personal Instagram. Just a view of the night sky, the moon looking whole, and a single line of text. Everything will be back to normal. Maybe it just takes time. And at about the same time, Jungkook replied in Weverse, I'm not going anywhere, Young. Both sentences are simple. But for fans who have been following the story since the beginning, the sentence feels like a glue gun trying to put the broken pieces back together. But the drama doesn't stop there. The media began to delve into the past, looking for the roots of the complex dynamics between the two. One of the clips from the documentary Break the Silence comes back, showing the moment when Taehyung gets angry with the staff because Jungkook looks exhausted, but is still forced to perform. At that time, many considered it a form of Hyung's attention. But now, the clip is being watched again with a different perspective. Was it just a momentary emotion? Or evidence that for a long time, Taehyung harbored something, whether it was anxiety, worry, or jealousy? An army veteran from Korea wrote on his blog, we too often see them as symbols of perfection. But sometimes we forget that they can also feel ignored, can be misunderstood, and can be disappointed. Maybe this is the first time we've really seen that side of Taehyung. The question is no longer who is right or wrong, but about how two people who were once so close could go through this storm of emotions and still stand together. And when news finally surfaced that BTS would be reuniting for their 12th anniversary debut project, one question came to mind. will Taehyung and Jungkook be on the same stage